AEW appears to be having more and more success compared to its competitors, NXT. Dave Metzler of Wrestling Observer Newsletter recently reported that new wrestlers at AEW are earning larger incomes compared to NXT wrestlers at WWE. Even though it varies from wrestler to wrestler, overall it is becoming the new normal for even the new, quote, low-card stars at AEW to earn more than most of the NXT wrestlers. AEW's contracts come with different levels, i.e. the wrestlers appearing on AEW Dark are usually signed to a per-date agreements. The company has different contracts that depend on the level of activity of the talent's participation in the company. With Benjamin Carter, you remember him being the exception, every other star is signed to one deal or another. The stars appear weekly, as well as ones whose signing with the company announces are offered weekly guarantees. It has been recently stated that most of the stars being signed with NXT are going for short-term agreements. They are being offered a $60,000 annual downside guarantee with a $500 bonus for every episode they appear in. That's like $500, which might be increased to $80,000. Dang. The increase will be effective in January, with a significant increase in bonuses as well. Several people working in WWE were reportedly to be pleased with the company making a move toward short-term contracts. According to some, it will keep the money from, quote, stockpiling and hoarding talent. I agree with that. But over at AEW, even the lower card AEW wrestlers are most probably making at least the same amount. That is when they choose to sign a new contract with Pro Wrestling's number 2 promotion. This is saying a lot because NXT has been the biggest launching pad for big-name wrestlers over the last 5 years or so. Used to love NXT, loved it better than the WWE regular programming, and now it is watered down and sucks because Vince McMahon has his hands all over it again. Before AEW Dynamite began airing on TNT, NXT was the place for a majority of the world's popular indie talents. Throughout the years, WWE has mostly made use of non-broadcasted live events to train new talents for the main roster. But now that live events are not as popular anymore, WWE does not need to have as big of a roster, so it can run small number of live events every week. Consequently, forthcoming stars have had a tough time determining whether they should be going for a lower spot on AEW or choosing NXT. But since hosting traditional events is not as popular anymore, newer talents often gravitate towards AEW, which seems to have fewer limitations compared to NXT. It is also much easier for stars to appear on Dynamite, whereas it is much harder to get on WWE's main roster. AEW seemingly provides its stars much more exposure on national TV, and in all, it is apparent that AEW stars can earn a better income for a much less grueling work schedule, absolutely, compared to what they have to do in NXT. Also, they're allowed to do their Twitch. They're allowed to appear on indie shows. This is the way it should be for wrestlers, but WWE is old fart sucky. And that's why they're having problems. That's why AEW will beat them there, and that's why Raw and SmackDown ratings are declining. I think WWE's run as the big dog could be coming to an end.